Peace and Black Power family. This is your host, Raheem Shabazz, and we are here for another episode of Necessary Blackness podcast. And I am joined by my lovely co-host, Marcy Lee. How are you doing, sister?
I am doing awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. It seemed like it's been a minute since we did a live, right?
Yeah, it's been probably like a week at least.
At least a week. The last time we did a live, we had the good brother Red Pill on here. And that was a very informative podcast, if I must say.
It was. It was very informative. And I have to say something about that podcast real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Because we got feedback. And
Oh,
people was talking about my eyes.
oh. Well, go ahead. Explain it to them.
Well, people who know me know when I'm listening and thinking, I just look intense. But people were talking about me rolling my eyes. No, I was in agreement with the brother Red Pill. There was nothing that he said that I disagreed with. I was just heavy in think mode, So I just wanted the people to know that I was not rolling my eyes at the brother at all. So I just wanted to clear that up.
All right. Let me. I'm trying to see if I can see some comments. I see a lot of people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see none of the comments. But in any event, today I wanted to get on here. I wanted to discuss topics, right? And one of these topics, as y'all can see from the title of it, we're going to address the situation in that has been going on live for some time now, right? And I perfectly titled this, for those that express vitriol to Black people that are about upward mobility and Black liberation, right? And they call them Hotep
Right.
or Hotep hustlers, right? Now, the word Hotep simply means peace.
Peace. Right.
Jews, they say shalom. That means peace. Muslims say assalamu alaikum. But there has been this negative connotation towards the word Hotep. And you have a lot of people that express vitriol towards individuals that are about Black liberation. Now, some of it is fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. If you remember back when Hidden Colors, not Hidden Colors, Living Colors
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah.
on. They have a scene in there where he said, Hotep, my brother.
Uh-huh.
And he start speaking about African empowerment, and he do it in a comedic way, and that was funny, and you have some brothers that speak like that and that's out here in Black society, but everybody is not Hotep, and there are several memes, and I was trying to figure out how could I share a slide on here. I still didn't figure it out. But I'm gonna bring them up anyway, and I'm gonna bring it up on my computer and just read it, right? There's a picture of it's like a Egyptology, and it's like hieroglyphics written on the wall, and it said Black conscious people be like they stole Santa and Rudolph
From who?
from Kemet.
Okay.
They stole Santa and Rudolph from Kemet. They saying Black conscious people be saying that, and then they got the big words Hotep, my brother. And then there's another one, and it says how to identify Hoteps. It says this specimen can usually be found champion for the rights of Black men while simultaneously throwing Black women, Black trans person, Black members of the LBGT community, or anyone else who is not a Black male under the bus. Now, that had to be someone that was a feminist and a hater of straight Black pride. That's not the meaning of Hotep. And people that says Hotep does not really subscribe to everything that they saying they against. Hotep simply means peace. before we even start this podcast, let me say this, right? Those of us, who are about Black liberation and empowerment, we do come in peace. But be mindful, right, that we was violent before we came peaceful. Every brother that you see, or you might call, a Hotep hustler or Ashley Hotep, ain't one of these soft coons that's walking around here. Let's be very mindful of that. What was your first interaction with the word Hotep? Did it have a negative connotation to it?
No, it didn't have a negative connotation to it, but that was several years ago when people were really trying to find their higher selves. And of course, I interacted with a few groups trying to learn like as much as I could. So, no, there was nothing negative about the Hotep community until recently. It
Mm.
seemed to be something like when everybody start hating on this woke, everybody started just hating the word woke. And I think that it may be bled over to the Hotep community. But I have heard some negative things, and I have not witnessed it. I have not seen it, but um, that last meme that you read talking about basically that it is limited to Black males. Like, so if you're not a Black male, you're excluded. I haven't felt that. I'm not familiar with that experience, but there are people who have had that experience. So I can't really speak on that.
You have several sisters that will greet you in an honorary greeting of Hotep. So I don't understand how that is just relegated to Black men. That's Black men say. I heard several sisters say, Hotep, brother, how are you today? So I don't understand that. At one time, the word Hotep was very popular, especially in the hip hop industry. In 2008, Q-Tip, he had a track called Move, right? And he said, we made it cool to wear medallions and say Hotep. So that was in 2008. But I think in about 2014, the negative connotation started coming around. And that's because more people was being woke. More people was studying Kemet. More
Right.
people was coming into their consciousness of their high self.
Well, I know, like you just brought up 2008, the first group that pops into my head is X Clan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think about X Clan when I think about Hotep community and even Arrested Development. Like, it's a lot of people from back in the day who was kind of on it way before, mass society got on board. So
Yeah, 2014, there was a hashtag called Hotep Twitter. And I think that's what set everything off. Once you get on the internet,
well,
it's
you know what?
rap.
We have to admit some people take on the identity and it's it's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but they're into it. And I
Yeah.
think some people just get turned off by it because they're so removed from it. They don't understand it, so they might have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You got to let people do their own thing.
And the movie, not the movie, the episode, um, Insecure on HBO. In episode 2, the character named Molly, she was like, my boyfriend only knows Hotep niggas. After that episode, there were so many memes going around about Hotep. And in it, she said how he, his friends speak. And it says, I just want a queen that respects herself and who lays off swine, who stands beside her king like a strong Black woman should. But my queen got to be a freak too, And
What's
so,
that got to do with Hotep? But go ahead.
but no, the part where she said her boyfriend only knows Hotep niggas, so that was like an introduction to those that are not into the inner circle of consciousness when they first got hold of the word. And like with anything else, it becomes trending, especially when people are downplaying it. No one wants to do
Yeah.
research research of the origin of the word. They want to just join in on the bandwagon. But what stems from this topic today, and for me bringing it up, right, is R&B singer Jidenna. How you pronounce his name?
I always thought his name was Jendaya, but it's wrong.
Jidenna.
You know what? I have to admit, I didn't look into it as much as I should have.
Well,
but I always called him Jendaya.
Yeah, I
I
can't
don't think
pronounce
that's his
his name.
name, though.
I'm going to call him Jidenna.
Okay.
Right? Because he wears his hair in a conch. You know, I don't know if Janae Moshe, what's her name?
Janae, yeah, Monet. I know
Janae
they was
Monet.
business
I think
partners
that's
or
an artist. I don't know if
right.
she's doing his hair or something like that. But, yo, you know, he's a moist coon to me.
Oh.
He put up a tweet, right? And I'm going to read this tweet to y'all, family. In this tweet, he says, Hoteps are one of my top 5 enemies. And this is the same individual that went on the Breakfast Club, and he said that homosexuality has its origin and began in Africa, right?
Hmm.
And I'm gonna just quote some of the stuff he said on there. He said, "You got the Uganda king in the kingdom of Buganda at that time." I never heard of that word, Buganda. That's some Badusi rhetoric that's going on. But he said, before Buganda, there was an openly gay king. He revealed much to everyone's surprise. If you go to Zimbabwe, the businessmen, as they call them, they see homosexual acts in the cave paintings. If you go to different communities in Africa, there was different rites of passage where if a woman was with a man or a man was with a woman, they were thought to be more powerful.
Okay. Is
Now,
he gay? Do you
since
know?
when have someone's sexuality determines the powerfulness of that person? You know, you have to be very careful of what people come online and what they spread. There's a book, right, that individuals are fond of quoting. Um, it's called Boy Wives and Female Husbands or something to that effect.
Okay.
And this book is the book that is spewing the garbage about homosexuality coming out of Africa. And those are the talking points that he using that coming from this book.
So I don't know if you heard me, but I asked you, is he gay? Do you know?
I don't know if he's gay, and you know, like with anything else or with anybody else, it really doesn't matter. I don't care about.
Wait, yeah, it matters to me. I mean, I like to get an idea of the mindset of the person when I'm thinking about things like this. Just want to know where they're coming
I,
from.
I will say this though, he do have moist tendencies. You know, the way he wears hair, his mannerism. You know, but whether he is or not, and I, you know, I will go on the side to say he probably is, because usually you have those that are gay. You know, they want to champion for the rights of gay. They want to make it seem like, you know, it's a normalized thing for society, so it
Mm-hmm.
be normalized. And
Well,
he's
we all know, like I know you mentioned a book, and that's one book that you mentioned. I'm sure there's several others, but when you're doing research and you're repeating information, what I learned when you're doing research, you should always have at least 3 sources.
mhm,
Um,
absolutely.
I don't know if that's the case here, but you know how sometimes people need things to confirm, their views and their opinions. So
Mhm,
if they find anything that was printed and published, that's good enough for them.
absolutely.
So
But you know, even like just say for the sake of the argument, we can find 3 books, right? That doesn't make it truthful. That doesn't make it scientific or credible facts. What we can go on is the depiction of ancient kings and queens in Africa, the depictions on the wall, the monuments, things that they left behind. And now, if we go to the Greek and the Romans, we see all of that pedophilia and homosexuality.
Mm.
Know where its origin began. So to say that the Europeans got it from the Africans, come on, bro, stop it. You know,
Well, I just wonder what his point was. Like he just wanted to.
nah,
Um,
he just came out and just say that. And with the advent of social media, everybody want to go viral. You could say something controversial and then make its way around the internet. I'm not sure if that was what he was planning on doing, but it definitely made its way to me, and I wanted to speak on it.
did you read his tweet? What he just said? Did you read
After
it?
that,
No, yeah, the one where he said he don't mess with Hotep people or something.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I read that. I'll read it again too. He said Hoteps are one of my top 5 enemies.
Wow, that's a very powerful statement. Those are people in our community.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, and he's saying they're enemies.
yeah, his top 5 dead or alive. It's you got to understand
Wow.
right now the world, whether you gay, straight, your political persuasion, your religious persuasion, Black society is fighting against racism and white supremacy.
They must really do something to his um security of his manhood. I mean, I just don't understand what a group of people, a whole group of people, you're putting them all together in a group saying that they're your enemies. I can't imagine what they could have done um as a group to have him feel this way. But we all have our own path. I have no clue. Um wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so uh, racist white supremacists and race soldiers out here killing unarmed men, women, and children, Black women, Black men, Black children are not your enemy.
Did anybody ever step to him and ask him what it was about? Did you see any
Not, not, not,
response?
not that I know of. Not
Oh, okay. All
you
right.
know they they hide behind their keyboards. As far as like physically to them, I don't know. I'm sure. I ain't the first one to call him out on it, and I won't be the last.
Right.
But we ain't gonna give him too much shine. We're gonna move on to our next subject matter.
Okay.
And you know what? I want to pull up for this segment. I definitely has to pull up. Well, let me do it on there. I want to pull up my Facebook because I was left a lot of comments. And for the record, family, I know that many of y'all probably not seeing my Instagram posts. I am being shadow banned on Instagram. And for those that don't know what shadow ban is, you still can see my posts, but I won't come in your feed. A lot of people that's probably for me, I won't come up and posts that I would usually get a couple of thousands of views, likes, and comments on. I am now getting 2 and 3 comments on. It is,
I can attest to that because I'm like, I don't get any of your posts.
yeah,
Like, it never comes down my feet. None of your posts.
yeah. So I've been going online. They said that the solution to this is you have to remain off of social media for 3 days, 72 hours, and the shadow ban will be lifted. So we'll see. But nevertheless, that's why it's very important. I'm known to get banned from Facebook. I was banned for 4 months from Instagram. So this is a platform that you can always find me on. You always can find me on Necessary Blackness Podcast. You can go right to any streaming app that streams podcasts and just simply put in the word Necessary Blackness. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our page. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that bell so that you can get your notifications. But let me get to this. What I'm attempting to pull up is some comments I received about a post. And this post is about a restaurant owner in Dallas, Texas, and his name is Kevin Kelly. And there was a young lady, a black young lady, unfortunately, who was twerking on the table. Now, when you hear someone say twerking on the table, let me be able to give it to you so you can visualize it. She wasn't just twerking, dancing on the table. She was dancing on top of the table. She was
Mm.
twerking on top of the table, and she was a big, heavy sister, Lizzo style, and
You know, I try not to laugh on that one. Go ahead.
she was twerking on top of the table. And there's a video that's circulating, right? And the video that I posted is one of the videos, where you see her twerking, and then it cuts to him approaching her. But there is another video I have yet to find it. I haven't been looking for it, but I heard it circulating, where it's the extended version, where he went 2 and 3 times and told them, listen, you can't be doing that. You can't be dancing here. And they decided to still do it. And he went in on them, and if you ask me, he did it very respectfully. you know some people are not used to people that speaks with authority and doesn't speak as if they under authority, and that seems to be disrespectful when you speak as an alpha male, when you stand on your truth. But in any event, right, when he spoke to them, this is some of the things he said. He said, I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so black people could have somewhere nice to go. That was one of his comments he said. Then he went on to say that 75% of his customers are women, and
Mm-hmm.
want to show them respect for themselves, for how they carry themselves. So that's why I tell men to respect them. And you guys are twerking. You guys are twerking here. If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. So a lot of people said, he was right
Mm.
in what he, but to get the fuck out the restaurant was it. That was a little overboard. Now my opinion is, I done told family members, I done told friends, I done told individuals to get the fuck out of my house. And I'm sure you probably told people to get out your house as well. This is a man who established his business. Not only is he a business owner, he brought the business. He bought the building, I meant.
Yeah, the
To
building.
start a business, has a certain clientele. And this created a lot of controversy online. Everybody
Yeah. You
opinion.
know what?
So your opinion.
I read that he invested about $1 million.
Wow.
That's a lot because I think the building it was about 700,000.
Mm.
I'm not sure on the numbers, but it was a substantial amount.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand his frustration. I think that any business owner who wants to see their investment elevate and thrive want to keep what people would say the riff raff out, like things
Absolutely.
that's going to devalue your property and your business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way he approached them, I don't think that it was professional. I think that he's asking these patrons to behave in a certain manner, but that's not what he gave them. I think that there's a way that he could have stood in his power as a black man without the theatrics. Um, but I do take in consideration that he was frustrated and he was angry because I get it. I would have been, kind of like, what is going on? I think he should approach that individual and said, ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Plain and
But
simple.
he approached him twice though.
No, he didn't ask them to leave. He let them remain, and then he just blew up at everyone. So I
No,
feel
I think to me personally, I think his message wasn't directed to everyone. His message was directed specifically to them. He never addressed nobody else, and he
but
approached
from
twice
what you
and
said,
still
he
continued the behavior.
that's what I'm saying. How many times? I don't ask over and over again. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never had to ask nobody to leave my house. I've never asked nobody to get the fuck out. Never. You know what I'm saying? Because people respect me because I have a certain level of expectations. So I feel like if he went over them 1, 2, 3 times, he's frustrated because he's being disrespected. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So yeah, now he's about to blow his top. But what I'm saying is, after the first time, when he asked them not to do it and they did it again, I feel like he should have said, ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. If he didn't care about the money and, you know, all this stuff he's saying, he don't care about this, that, and the other, why didn't you just ask her to leave in a quiet manner? Like, for instance, when my children act up, I don't go crazy and yell out at them out in public. I get in their ear and I say, you know what? Let's go right now. We
All
out
right.
of here.
I don't think that was a good analysis. Your children are children. We talking about
Were
grown.
they acting like children?
We yes, we're talking about grown adults who was acting like children that should have known better,
Well,
right?
this is what I'm saying, though. No,
But
this is what I'm saying. They should have known better. But even my children get a certain level of respect where I'm not yelling and raising my voice. They're children and they're still getting my respect.
you
I'm
know what?
saying him as the business owner should have gave them a certain level of respect of them being adults, even though they're acting like children, and saying, ma'am, it's time for you to go. Please leave. That's it.
Well, they said he approached him twice, right? Maybe he did tell him to leave and don't do that. I don't know. However, I will say this, right? I understand where you're coming from because I know you personally, and you know that's not your temperament, right? And what I think is wrong with the internet, people are telling people how to deal and react, a certain way. You know, he lucky he didn't he they lucky he didn't snatch him off that table and drag them out the door. Now,
Is that what you would have
uh,
done? Would you have done that? Look at you.
nah, I wouldn't have did that.
I
You get
can't see
sued.
you
You
doing
would
that
get
either.
sued for that. That's what you got security for.
Okay.
Yeah, you got security for that.
So what do you think about people saying, "Oh, he should have been playing that music"?
All
What
right,
do you
see,
think?
and that's another thing I want to get to. Right now, there is a Twitter post, right, and this is crazy, right? When something goes viral, let me tell you something, man. Your eighth grade teacher gonna try
Okay.
post that is advertising a New Year's Eve. Did I come back
Hello.
in?
Yeah, come back in real quick.
Hold on. All right, I'm back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
someone found a post that is advertising a New Year's Eve party, right? And he's charging 10,000. Not disturbed.
Okay. You got people hitting you up.
Yeah, and the person keep calling back and back and forth. I just hate that, man.
Okay. Go ahead. $10,000.
But anyway, they put up a flyer of him advertising a New Year's Eve party, right? And he's charging $10,000 a section. And he said, "This is a restaurant. This is not a club. But you charging $10,000 a section. That sounds like the club is going to be popping on New Year's. So we have to, you know,
So is
and
that
I
this
get it.
guy? Is that
Yeah,
is that this guy?
your sound is messed up. Say it again.
Is that this restaurant owner?
Oh wow, I can't even hardly hear you now.
Okay. What you want me to do? Come back in?
Hold on. Could you go out and come right back in? All right, we're gonna give her a few minutes to come back in. Um, when you do this live streaming, sometimes the sound gets messed up. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Let me see if I bring her back in. Add to stream. Okay. You are back. All right. Say something.
Hello.
There you go. You sounded
Okay.
like you was underwater for a minute.
Okay. Well, I was just asking you this $10,000. Is this the same restaurant owner?
Yeah,
Okay.
same restaurant owner. Someone found that he was advertising a party. So I was saying all that to say that you were saying that maybe it was the music, when people, and I understand, like, music is vibration, it's energy, it's emotion. You might get people get up and dance, but to get on top of the table.
I didn't say it was the music. I said what you think about people
No,
saying
no,
the
and
music.
people are saying that maybe he should be playing some jazz. Maybe he shouldn't be playing twerking music. And, listen, we adults. I don't care what type of music is on, wrong is wrong. But if you want to establish a certain type of clientele, that might not be the music, because you do have people that are ignorant. And I just don't think that music dictates people's behavior.
Well, you know what? It may not dictate the behavior, but it might serve as a um a symbolism that that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, if you want a certain clientele, you would do the things that that clientele appreciates. I'm not saying that it's ever okay to twerk. You know how I feel about twerking. So we all understand that I'm not condoning that, but I'm saying maybe there is something to him playing. If he's playing a certain type of music and you know what the reaction is to that music, you're partly to blame. I'm saying, like, maybe he's responsible in some aspects and he can switch things around and hopefully he can get the results that he's looking for.
That's something to consider, and maybe he is considering that. But I don't think that, initially having a DJ there determines that it's a club atmosphere where you could just get on top of the table and dance. I just, but one thing I will say is that there are a lot of people. Let me bring up some of these comments. There are a lot of people that saying that go there and, that he was wrong.
Oh,
So I got 139 comments, right?
okay.
And I'm definitely not going to read these all. All right, he said, this is Tiffany Pine Stewart. She said, me personally, I would have just asked the three groups that was at the table to leave. The host in the middle of the floor talking to everyone like they're in a school cafeteria. It's corny and not professional.
Yep.
Uh, Then someone defended him. Uh, she said he did initially, and they kept going. It's his business. And then Melanin and Payne said it's his business. He can speak how he wants. Do you own a business? And by whose definition of professional are you going by?
Is this person talking to me?
No, no, no. They
Oh,
talk.
okay. Because
This
I'm
is
like, okay, wait, hold on.
no.
No,
These are
no.
no.
Because I was
This
about to
is
respond. Okay.
no,
Well,
no,
go
no.
ahead.
Well, hold on. Let me get the disclaimer real quick. These are these are comments under the post from the video I put up. This is not
Because
from
I
the
was like, okay, let me tell you. All
yeah,
right, go ahead.
yeah, right. So someone said, yes, I own a business and I'm going off of corporate America value as professionalism, ma'am. It was tacky and he needs to address the people who he had an issue with. All right, let me get to the more there's so many comments.
So many. Pick the juicy ones.
Someone said, my guy, really, guess what? Women put a lot of money in your restaurant and they have a great time. Relax. Somebody told them to relax because the girls was having a great time. And then someone else came and said they could relax without climbing on chairs and tables. Someone said go to a club if you want to twerk and dance furniture. Um,
Wow.
Someone else said these women, Shamika Sattler said these women would not have done that at Maestro's in Houston. I'm all for going out, eating, drinking, and having girlfriends. Hopping on chairs and tables at this person's business was not okay. Uh,
Right.
People agree it's the time and place for everything. He ain't have to have a different approach with them. That's restaurant. These are grown women who don't know how to conduct themselves in public places. As a black woman, I approve his message and the way he said it. Let me
The
see.
only thing I have to say about that is that, yeah, of course, everyone can respond the way that they want. I'm just saying, if you want respect, you have to show respect. And if he's trying to bring about a certain atmosphere, like you're having telling people to respect themselves, the
Hmm.
way he talked to them was not respectful. That's all I'm saying. He could do whatever he want, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying you sound like a hypocrite. That's how I feel about it. But be
It's,
a hypocrite if you want to be. It's your stuff.
yeah. Someone else, Dave Anderson, said, if it's an upscale restaurant, why is there a DJ and not
I was
a
thinking
D?
the
Right?
same thing.
But
I'm
listen,
like, a
all
DJ?
right, listen, see, this is what I don't like, right? Like, the girl said she was going by corporate America's standard of professionalism. First of all, America ain't professional, right? America is a corporation, we know that. But since when America has shown any type of professionalism, right? And then why are we using America's or someone
Standards.
else's standards to determine our way of business or our walk of life? You know, so and it goes back to saying, right? Like if someone says something disrespectful towards me, you cannot determine the energy that I use back. You know, if someone pulls out a knife on me, you can't say, Raheem, he had a knife. Why you shot him with your gun? Because I
Well,
don't.
I think, yeah, okay. Well, first of all, in regards to what you're saying about the professionalism, there is a certain standard that most people can agree is professional or not professional.
Mhm.
This owner brought up these other establishments. If you're going to compare yourself to the other establishment, you have just put yourself in that realm of professionalism. So if you want to go your own way and have a DJ, have a DJ. But then you can't then say put me on a level of this group. You
Well,
you doing your own thing, do your own thing.
well,
So I'm just saying,
let me say something, right? The statement that I read was from someone that was commenting. The owner didn't say that.
I didn't say the owner said that.
Houston, you said he's putting himself on a level of this.
Yeah, when he brought up the other restaurants, he said in the video that
Oh,
you wouldn't go this place, and this place.
oh,
So
okay.
I'm assuming that, and I guess that's me making an assumption that these other places would not have a DJ. That's just me jumping to that assumption that those upper class restaurants would not have a DJ playing that type of music. And then I'm linking it to what you were just saying as far as professionalism. He is putting himself on the level of their professionalism. So
Mhm.
therefore, you have a DJ, it kind of don't match. But
All
he can
right.
still do what he wants. I'm still on his side, but I just feel like I can see the both sides of the situation.
All right, this is the last comment I'm gonna read. Y'all need to go to my Facebook at Raheem Shabazz and read the 137. How many comments I got up here? Uh, how many comments it is? 139 comments. I thought it was 137. Maybe two more people have responded. But this is the last comment, and this is from David Anthony Bradboy. He said, absolutely. The ignorance has to end. He's willing to risk his revenue for dignity and self respect. Dignity and integrity is forever the best investment. Investment for black people, as he said, not a place for a bunch of niggas. Yeah, I like that comment, because, like he said, man, of course, anybody that opens or operate a business is, the end game or the goal is to monetize your business, to make money, take care of your family. But he did something that was specifically for us. Time and time again, we have witnessed individuals go into restaurants and get turned away for their dress code or mistreated and told they can't enter because they are black. And, we always tell people to shop black and go to our own business. And here's a man that put over $1 million into establishment for something that is exclusively for us. And y'all want to get mad at him. People are saying, I will never go there. I
This
won't
is
support him. And I think that is something that should not ever happen. You know, you're not going to support a man's business because these two ladies decided to act out and he responded in a manner that probably wasn't conducive to your liking. That's ignorance, man. I will support that business. And if I'm ever in the Dallas, Texas area, I'm going there, man, and I'm supporting another black business. And you know the ironic thing about it, some of these same individuals are saying they won't go there because of the way he speak to them. Y'all still go to H&M.
Oh, okay.
Y'all still go to Gucci. Y'all still go to Louis Vuitton. And y'all saying this on Black Friday, where everybody's telling people to support a small business, buy black. I just see the hypocrites in a lot of these people.
Well, I think that a lot of people are basically getting to the idea that you can't control people's behavior. Like you can try to.
I am.
What's that?
In my establishment, I am.
Okay. But what I was saying is most likely you don't really have to do that because people understand culture, like what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So this brings me to the whole idea of home training. What's going on with home training where people don't know when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate to behave in certain ways? Like what happened there? Is there, something else going on?
Yeah, I think home training definitely plays a part in it because, you know, but no, it does play a part in it. But
Go ahead.
We're not talking about children. Regardless to what was the social norms that was happening in my upbringing, when I become an adult and I'm
Who
able
says they're
to
adults?
think, those was grown women.
Because they 21? We've had this conversation before. Just because someone's over 21 don't mean they ain't a grown child. There's so many people walking around who are grown children.
All right, so you know what? And guess what? Society and the police officers treat them like children since they act like children, and they punish them like adults, right? Now, it would have been wrong, right? People would have really went at that man if he would have just called the police on him. He didn't even call the police on him. And a white officer would have...
Why would he call the police?
Listen, because they being disrespectful in his establishment, and he want them out of there.
Did he tell them to leave?
But listen. If he would have called the police on them, right, and them white officers would have came and they would have dragged them sisters by them weaves off them tables, then everybody would have been mad at him.
Well, no, that's why I can see why he's frustrated, because he probably did want to take it to another level, but couldn't. He probably felt like his back was up against the wall, and that's why we need to have more conversations and raise people's awareness levels as far as how you treat people. This man is, maybe his approach was wrong, but if we could dial back the conversation and just say, man, this is his establishment. He don't want it to go down like that. Can you respect it? Like, I just think if he would have maybe came in a different way, maybe the ladies would have been like, all right, brother, I'm sorry. I apologize. And we could have moved on. It just seems like a big miscommunication.
People say that he approached them twice. Who's to say he didn't have that candid conversation?
You're right.
That he was cool, calm, collective, said, come on, sis. Goddamn well. Your ass too big to be
1, 2, 3 strikes you out. Like, I'm sorry, you would have been kicked out.
And then they said that he went over there twice and he walked away. And then when the third time, that's when the lecture came.
He was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey. Since we wasn't there,
I would and see, this is what's crazy. I would love to hear the individual that was dancing, what was her response to it. Yes. And you know what? She probably seen that video and really thought to herself, you know what? I was wrong. And she might even make a video apologizing. And if she do that, what is everybody else going to say? You know what I mean? And it's just like, people was putting themselves in the position of that woman. And that wasn't you. So why are you so mad and upset and calling for a boycott?
It's the same reason why when you see Lizzo twerking at an NBA game and people, giving her kudos, and I'm like, it's children here. Like, what? Why would we be okay with that? It's almost like because people want the license to do what they want when they want. When they see other people acting foul, they want to get on their side of things because when it's their turn, they want people to back them up when they're doing some foolery. So I just think that people need to get some maturity and have a larger picture of what's good for society. Is this something that we want to see? Is this the direction that we want things to go with? And I think if people are honest and not selfish, they would be able to make a better decision.
A better and informed decision. You're right about that. Ramsey 7 said, next time I'm in Dallas, I'm supporting his spot. Hotel, brother. That's
All
what's.
right.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you gonna support his spot if you in the Dallas, Texas area?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Is it vegan?
Is
Yeah, I fought through.
okay.
Shoot, definitely. I don't. I
Had
Yeah.
to ask. So my next and my last question is to you. I want to ask you, right? Do you think that if this girl or the woman that was dancing on the table, right? If she was, I'm just talking about drop dead beautiful, right? And had a bodacious body, and she was twerking that thing like, you know how they be twerking it.
No.
And
No,
listen,
I know where you
hold on,
going.
hold on. And she was eye candy, right? Do you think his approach would have been the same?
Are you trying to say, like, if he was pulling a Diddy? I don't know if you remember when Diddy did
Oh yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And no, I don't think it was that at all. Not at all. To be honest, I couldn't even see her size when I was looking at the video. I'm just like taking people word that a girl is over there
Because
against the
it
wall
was dark
twerking.
and she took up the whole screen.
Okay. Well, yeah, no. I don't think it had anything to do with her size or anything. I think it was the simple act of her twerking.
Oh, okay, all right. Because some people are if it was someone that probably was considered eye candy, and she had a banging body, they might have been more tolerant.
Well, I would hope not. I would hope that that's not the situation. I can't, say what this man would have done, but twerking is twerking.
Now with
Class is
any
class.
situation, right? I remember that, right? And I didn't really look too far into it. From what I understand is that he was inviting people to his live, and she came on there and she was twerking and backing up, and
Who? You
he
who name you
immediately,
just say?
huh?
Who name you just say? Lizzo?
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
Diddy,
yeah.
Diddy, and she was twerking and backing it up, and he ended the live with her, but he was saying that it was kids in there, something like that, right? That
Well,
wasn't
no, because the thing is, previous to Lizzo doing, Drea did it. And Drea is cute and fine. You know,
trying to say
and
Lizzo ain't cute and fine.
hey, look, don't ask me something if you don't want me to tell the truth. I'm not like other people. You know I'll tell the truth.
I just
Okay. So Drea, to me, in my opinion, I think she's attractive.
oh,
And I think that a lot a lot of people would have wanted to see her twerk it. Okay.
okay.
So he let her twerk. And when Lizzo got up there, he was like, cut it, cut. And I was just like, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Do you think it was that type of situation where, you're saying if it was a fine girl, he would have, let it go on. But I don't think that's the situation. So,
Oh, okay. I
and
just
we'll never know the truth about Diddy. I don't know the truth about
well,
that.
he's like well, see, you brought something to light that I didn't know of. I didn't know Drea was on there twerking before that. So he was on there twerking before that, and then Lizzo came on. It probably wasn't the eye candy he wanted to see.
You
You
know
know,
what? Well, maybe too, after Drea did it, it was kind of like, but then he didn't want it to be a thing. Who knows what was going through his head? I mean, you'll never get the honest truth out of these people sometimes.
but
You know.
see, this is another thing, right? And that's why I'm glad I'm not a part of that celebrity lifestyle. I live life on my own accord, right? If I decided to let someone twerk on my live and I'm enjoying it and I'm liking it, and then someone comes that is not pleasing to the eye, and I'd be like, whoa, and I decide to shut him down, you know, that's my prerogative. You know, people are saying, "Oh, that he was fat shaming," and well, listen, I don't like nothing bigger than me. I'm telling y'all that right now.
Well, that's the thing.
People
People can't
have their
stand in their truth no more. Like
huh?
people can't. So that's the thing. People can't stand in their truth no more. If that's how they felt, and people feel like it's shaming, we all have our own opinions. Some things are offensive to an individual that's not offensive to someone else. You seeing a slim girl who fits in her clothes as not offensive, but then you see someone who is not in their clothes properly, like spilling out of their clothes, it may offend you. How are you supposed to um show to someone that that's, unacceptable to you without offending? Like, how am I supposed to protect that? You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes it just comes out in truthfulness, but nowadays you're not allowed to be truthful because everybody are like snowflakes, like
Yeah,
very sensitive.
absolutely.
You can't
And
say anything.
I don't even want to like when I describe myself, I don't even want to use the word offensive, right? It's just my preference would see. I would love to see somebody that is eye candy. That's it. If it's something that's not pleasing to the eye, I don't see it.
Well, see, my thing is this: anything um, in a sexual manner, to me, is offensive. Whether it's a slim, cute girl or a big, overweight person, to me, if it's sexually overt, it's offensive. That's
Hmm.
just how I feel. But if you're a man and you're in your privacy of your own home, your private situation, then yeah, you can do what you want because you're in private. But when you're in public, you're not allowed to have your individual preferences. I mean, that's the way that society has been set up now. So
Yeah, but you know what? We don't go according to the norms of society. And I want to tell everybody, man, live your life, enjoy, be happy, twerk if you have to, but don't do it on nobody's table in their restaurant or their place of business. And if you are spilling out of your clothes, now I'm not gonna do that, but I'm not gonna do that. But Marcy Lee, in your last closing words, is there anything you want to say?
I just want to say that, when we're dealing with these situations within the community, I think that we need to have a little bit more empathy as far as how we're seeing things and do things across the board. Like I just said, like as far as preferences of size or whatever, I think it would be eliminated if we just kept some things private. One of the people commented saying there's a proper place and time. And I think that that would solve a lot of these problems. The problem is people want to put the way that they want to behave on other people and don't care if it's offensive or not. And some things I feel like should be, people should be allowed to feel how they want without people being too sensitive. I think it's up to the individual to figure out which way they want to go. So that's the only thing I want to say. Oh wait, I do want to say I support the brother. I just wish he would have came a different way at the sisters. I feel like he had a right to, communicate what he wanted in his establishment. And I feel like if the women was of a certain level, they would have respected his wishes. And because they didn't respect his wishes, then I feel that they're in the wrong.
I put it on do not disturb mode, but I don't understand how I'm still getting phone calls.
Well, we about to end it. So what you got to
I,
say, brother?
I know we're about to end it. I just want to say, man, make sure that y'all continue to tune in to Necessary Blackness podcast. I have a big announcement I'm gonna make. A couple of projects I'm working on. Continue to follow me on Facebook. Continue to follow me on Instagram and anywhere on social media. And tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I will be appearing on the Trap Pastors broadcast. You ever heard of the Trap Pastor? Huh?
Tell us about it.
The trap pastor it's a good brother, and his name is Reverend Keith Slaughter. And I actually had the opportunity to speak at his church He showed Elementary Genocide 1, 2, and 3 there. He was a radio personality here in Atlanta that had a very, very big following. But when I tell you, he is unapologetic and he brings it to your doorstep, right? And he teaches in the radical tradition of Christianity, right? But he definitely teaches it from a Pan-Africanist perspective. So tomorrow I will be on his podcast. And it's called the Trap Pastors Podcast. I'll be on there at 12 p.m. I'm not sure. I think we're going to be doing Facebook Live. It might be YouTube Live as well. But either way, I will share that with the listening audience. So with that said, man, continue to support me. And if you don't already have Elementary Genocide 1, Elementary Genocide 2, Elementary Genocide 3, make sure you go out and get that. Make sure you go on wingyapparel.com and pick you up some merch. See, I got the Wingy hat on. This is the first time I ever wore a dad's hat. I don't know. It's looking a little spliffy on me. I might start wearing it. Who knows? But continue to support us, man. And anybody that's interested in helping us keep this broadcast going, make sure you donate to our Cash App, $ Raheem Shabazz. Marcy Lee, take it away.
Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on our next broadcast. You can check me out at Forever Marcy Lee. And we'll see you here next time during our next broadcast. Peace.
What about the 2 books?
Thank you. You can also get my books at Amazon.com. These are children books created for your beautiful, young, striving scholars. The first one is Fun in the Rain, and the second one is Fun in the Snow. So please support your sister. Go ahead, over to Amazon.com. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Peace and Black Cloud family. We out of here.